So in the previous session, we have created our header table, which was on employee. Now in this part, we are going to create our item table. And we already have seen that we have like these three columns that we want to store in the item. And we created our employee table. We also saw what is the meaning of domain and data element. Then we saw how we can maintain our data using SE11, SE16 and SE16 and transaction code. But we also discussed that in the production system, your end user or customer will never have the access of this transaction code. So for that purpose, table maintenance generator was necessary. So for that requirement, what we did, we simply created a table maintenance generator for our employee table so that my end user can maintain the data inside the table from SM30, right?
Yes,
We
sir.
did na? Yeah. So let's go to log on and start creating our item table. Let's go to SE11, which is our ABAP dictionary. So for our item table, we are going to use these three columns, and we already have created our data element for employee ID. One important thing, guys, whenever you are going for header and item table, always use the same data element for the columns which are matching in both the tables. Okay, always please use it. Otherwise, there can be any inconsistency while linking the both the tables, because linking is necessary to maintain the consistency of data that we already have discussed, right?
Yes.
So employee ID data element is ready. Now let's go for project ID. It is character 3 again. So I will go to same step. I will follow the same step. I will select this domain. We will give a name. Let's say project ID. And again for our batch, say I'm passing here 8 to 10. 8_10. I will click on create button, give a short description here, project ID. Now in the data type again we will select the character. Where is it? Character and 3 length. Press enter. Click on save button, assign the package and transport request and activate it. Simple, our object has been activated. Copy the domain, go back, click on data type, give the name for your data type. Let's say again project ID here, project underscore ID. I will click on create button, data element, press enter, and in the short description, let's give a data element name. Now in the domain, please enter your domain that we have created, and for the field level, we will give a name for the heading that will be visible for my end user. Simply give a heading that will be visible to the end user. Again, save it. Click on activate button and your data element is ready. Now simply copy the data element and as usual paste it over our notepad. Then the next column that we have is project name, which is character 40. So let's get back to S11, select domain, project name, click on create button, provide a short description here, project name, and in the data type again we will give the character and length as 40. Now save package and activate it. Once your domain is ready, please copy it, go back to S11, select data type and give a name for your data element. Create data element, press enter, and in the short description we will give a name for our project name. Now in the domain, please pass your domain, and in the field level again please give a heading for the column. Heading and save it. Now click on activate button to activate your data element, and once it is ready you can please copy it and paste it over the notepad. So any doubt till now? The steps we are following the same that we were doing in the previous session, right?
Mhm.
Yes.
So now we will go for our table creation. Same to same approach. Once our domain and data element are ready, we can go to our database table and we can give a name. So for this one, let's say I'm giving a name here as project, project table, and click on create button. Okay, press enter, and the short description, give a name, give a description. So I'm simply giving project table. In the delivery class, we will again pass our A for application table, and for maintenance, we will select the display maintenance allowed. Now in the fields, just go to it, give the first column, obviously client number will be there, so I'm simply passing it MNDT. Now our first field, what is our first field? Employee ID. And for employee ID, what is the data element? This is the data element that we have created. Simply copy the name of it, and we will go to our table, give a technical name first in the field section, and then we will enter our data element name in the data element section and press enter. If your data element is activated, by default its data type and length and short description, everything will pop up here. Now for project ID, project underscore ID, then in the data element again we will simply copy its data element and paste it here, press enter. Now in the project name, here project name and its data element, simply copy it and paste it. Guys, please follow the similar step, you are never going to get any error. Okay.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Now see here, we already know that in case of our item, there is a possibility we are going to store multiple line items. So for that purpose, we will give a combination of primary keys. By default, my MNDT is going to be primary key. But for this table, these two fields I have marked here as primary key, employee ID and project ID, because combination of these two fields will be primary key, and we will be able to store duplicate items for my employee ID. Is this thing clear?
Mhm.
Yes.
So simply mark it here. Now we will click on save button, assign the package, transport request, and we will simply go to technical setting. Here we will give the data class. It is the location where my actual data is going to stored, and we will give our size category. Again, save it, get back to it, and click on activate button. See here, no error. My table is ready. What would be my next approach, guys? What would be the next step that I am going to do? Please tell me. What will be my next step here?
Need to link the two tables using this employee ID. Yeah.
Yes, linking the two tables. It is crucial because my header has already containing my header table has already data, and now we are going to allocate project for all those employees that have joined my organization, right? If we will go to this one, sorry, SM30, we can see our data of my employee table. ZEMP tab underscore 8 underscore 10. Yeah, this one might be. Yeah. These employees have joined my organization with this ID. Now we are going to allocate project for this employee. So for that purpose, I have simply created this table, and now we are required to link both the tables so that if there is a data in the employee, then and only then we will be able to store data into this project table. Is this thing clear, guys?
Yes.
How we are going to link it? What is the common key between both the tables?
Employee ID.
Definitely, employee ID is the column key. Now see how we are going to link it. I will click on this button. Simply select the column using which you want to link your table. Okay. And you are going to click on this item. See here, foreign keys. Can anyone tell me what is the definition of a foreign key?
The foreign key is the primary key of some other table, but it should
Yes,
be common, yeah, like in this case.
definitely. This is the best answer that is needed to define a foreign key. Foreign key is the primary key which is acting, foreign key is a key inside this table which will be acting as the primary key inside another table. That is the only thing we are required to link our table with primary foreign key relationship. Since we already know for every record in employee table, we can have multiple records in our project details table. So for that purpose, we will now link our both the tables with the primary foreign key relationship. Now there is a prerequisite guys for this relationship. There will always be a prerequisite that we are going to follow. See here, tables should always have a common key. Whatever the tables that you guys are going to use, they should always have a common key. And here we can see our employee ID is the common key between both the tables. So what I can simply do here, I will select my employee ID and I will click on foreign key relationship. Now in the check table, you can pass your employee table. Simply pass the employee table here. EMP tab underscore 8 underscore 10. Now click on this generate proposal. See here. What are the fields that are coming guys here? See the fields that are coming here. What are the fields that are popping out here?
The client and the employer ID.
MA and DT is by default will appear, but we have no use for it. But our
So,
important column that we have is employee ID. What
yes,
this thing is saying here, employee ID of employee table will be equal to your employee ID of project details table. So this proposal is necessary to maintain the consistency of data between both the header and item table. Now the next step we have is cardinality. You guys would have read this concept in mathematics in your college days. Can anyone explain me what is a cardinality?
it goes from one value to another, from 0 to some other value, right? Or
Uh, its value can be from 0 to another value, but I want to know its definition. If somebody is going to ask you a question, what is the numbers? Will you only tell it that from 0 to 10? A number
so
is something that we can use for counting purpose or for any other purpose, but we are here to define what is cardinality. I'm not telling,
mhm.
I don't want to know what will be its value. My question is, if somebody is asking us what is cardinality, what will be our definition for it? Here, please try to define it in the concept of our header and item table. What do you think our cardinality can be here?
I'm thinking, could it be maybe the relationship one to one or one to many and so on?
Yes, this is the answer that we are looking for. For
Okay.
our one data in header table can correspond to multiple data in the item table, right? There can be
Mhm.
possibility we are going to store multiple line items. So based on that, we will pass the cardinality here. So in the cardinality, for if there is one data in my header table, then and only then we can store multiple data for my item table. So here I will pass n. Okay, is this thing clear?
Mhm.
Now
Yes.
click on copy button and please activate your, see here. Your employee ID was foreign key was transferred. Now click on activate. Guys, I will show you the benefit of this foreign key right now. Just see it. Once my table is activated, can I create my TMG now?
Mhm.
So go to utilities, table maintenance generator, and here again we will pass no authorization. In the function group, simply pass the table name. Again, I am going for maintenance type as one step. Click on find screen number 2. Create a screen for your table maintenance generator. Propose screen number, click on OK button and simply click on create button. Press enter multiple times. Your TMG will be generated. So request completed without errors. My TMZ is ready. Now we can directly go to SM30 part /o SM30. Let's see the benefit of my foreign keys, guys. I will click on maintain button. Right now there is no data, and see here how many data is stored in my header table. How many data is stored here?
5.
Five data
5
is there,
entries.
na? We have five
Mhm.
data, right? So let's go for the sixth one. Let's see how if I am going for 106 and I will clear here. Suppose I will pass some project ID as 100, some project name, suppose Nestle, and I will click on save button. See what is going to happen here. What message am I getting here? Entry 106 do not exist in my header table. Please check your entry. This is why primary foreign key relationship is mandatory. If there is a data in your header table, then and only then you will be able to store data in your item table. Is this thing clear, guys?
Mhm.
So now we
Mhm.
will go here and we can store data in my item table according to the data that is there in my header table. So first data 101, let's say 101. I will give project ID as 100. Let's say I'm passing the project name as Nestle. You can pass anything. Again, someone another project for my same employee. Let's say project ID is 200. Now the combination of both these columns is acting as primary key in my project details table, in my item table. That is why we can store multiple data here. Okay. Suppose I'm passing a project ID and project name here. Then again, one more data 101 and project ID is 300. Okay, let's say some project name. So these are not, this is a non-primary key column. You can store any data that you want, but since these are primary key columns and we have marked these two columns as the primary key, that is why the combination of both these columns will act as a primary key. So 100 and 101 and 100 is a single row, and 101 and 200 is a different row. 101 and 300 is a different row here. Okay. Now if you will click on save button, see here your data is saved.
Mhm.
So you can store any number of data now. If you want, you can go for another one also, 101, 400, let's say. And this time, let's say we are working on some TCS project. Okay. So similarly, let's store data for 10T also, 102, 200, some data here, 102, 300, again some data here. Now for 103, we can store as many data as we want, but the only requirement will be the combination of the data should be unique, because this is the simple definition of your primary key, that it is going to identify your records uniquely. Okay, any doubt?
No.
Guys, if there is any doubt, please try to clear it at the same time. Okay.
I just have one question about the foreign key which you linked.
Yeah,
Okay,
please tell me.
so there you clicked on propose or the propose
Okay.
button, and then you got two
uh,
options: maintained and this employee ID. And so by default, both of them will be linked.
See, MANDT is, are we storing any data in MANDT? My first question.
No.
It is only there to so that your table is client dependent table. By default, some data is going to be stored there, but we are not going to treat it as a column, because if you will try to treat it, it will take some more time to understand the importance of it.
Mhm.
We are only for now playing with this one. See, simply treat this one as a key. But if you will go to inside the data, let's check it out. What is actually happening here? Let's go to SE11. Let's open our project table, see the content, and let's check it out. This MNDT column is there. We have marked this three as primary key, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now check it out. 800, 101 and 100. Now this one is a single row and says let's see check for the second one. 800, 101 and 200. The combination of them are unique or not?
Mm-hmm.
Combination are unique na 800, 101 and 300. Is there any duplicate data for this one?
No, but just could you please go back to that screen where you were clicking on the propose button
You want to go for the foreign key,
on the
right?
foreign key? Yes. Oh, I think now.
By default, this one is see what how it is treating it. Since you marked for the check table, what it is looking for it, whatever the column that you have inside this table, is there the
Mhm.
same column inside this table also? And are they are marked as the primary key also? Since MNDT by default we have marked it as the primary key in both the tables, that is why it is also appearing here.
Okay. But they selected or they are selected automatically, or you have to
No, no,
select
this
it.
will come automatically. We simply clicked on the generate proposal and it was applied over the primary key that are both there.
Okay. And for example, there could be a third field which is in this table, like common in both the tables, but we
That
don't
will
want to
come
link them
here.
together.
That will come here definitely.
But what if we don't want to link them?
See, primary key is applied accordingly. If there is data, if there is key in both the tables, then it will be applied automatically. You cannot decide it here. That
Mhm.
is, what is the use of a primary key? Please tell me. What is the use of primary key and foreign key? Primary key is there to only identify your records uniquely. If primary key is not there, will you be able to store any data inside the table? No. Will your database will be able to understand what is this kind of data? The combination of them is making it unique. That is why you are able to store it. If there is no primary key, if you are storing 100 data, let's say I am storing only 100 times. What is the use of it? Is there any use of wasting so much space in my database?
Mhm.
So there is a reason for certain things and we should follow them, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Any other question, please? Why am I creating this header and item table? Are you guys trying to understand it? Why am I creating it? So that I can show you how SAP has created these tables. As a functional consultant, you would have might have seen these tables working. But how do my SAP has created these tables? Now try to relate with both our tables. How do you think your SAP has created this one? This is my header table. Now let's go for my item table, which is WebAP. I will open it in display mode. See here what SAP has done. If you will go inside the foreign key, just check it. Click on foreign keys. How do you think SAP has created it? Are they applying? Are they following same approach or not?
It says down there 1 to CN relation. I don't know what that means.
Yeah, it is for character here. You can
Oh,
go
okay.
for 1 to CN also. If you will click on this F4 help, you are going to see it. CN is each record in check table has any number of dependent records. So it is not mandatory that there should be here. If I have passed 1 to n, it simply means each record in check level at least one dependent record is mandatory. I am going for 1 to n, but if you want, you can go for this one also. You can go for 1 to n, 1 to 1 also. We will see it in couple of minutes in this lecture. What is the use of it? Okay, 1 to 1. Everything cannot be covered in the training, guys. Some stuff you will also have to find it out, right?
Mhm.
Because SAP is a ocean. No one can teach you these things within if you are passing there for 200 hours or 300 hours. Nobody is going to teach you everything. Certain stuff will I can show you a direction. I can explain the stuff that are there, but you will have to work on yourself, right?
Yes.
Any other doubt, please? No doubt?
No, no. Thank you.
Okay. So guys, this is the concept of header and item table. You can create it, you can link it accordingly. I have taken this employee and project details table because we can relate it with our own life. If I will have taken this VVAK and VVAP table to explain it, it will not be easier for you to digest, right? Because all these names are like something weird. MANDT, what is this? VVL and Posner. It will take some time for you to digest all this stuff. Okay. So let's go for the next topic that we have, if there is no doubt. Types of database tables. How many types of database tables are there? Can
There are
anyone tell me what
three.
kind of table I have created at this moment? What kind
That,
of yeah, what kind of table that was created by me right now? Employee and project details table. What kind of table is it?
if I remember correctly, it was a transparent table.
Yeah, it was a transparent table. But let's say what is my question at this time? How many types of database tables are there? Can anyone tell me?
Three types.
Yeah, three types of database tables are there. And before HANA database coming into the pictures, these three types of database tables were working in your ACC system. The first one we have is transparent table. Do you know the definition of this transparent table?
Now, this table can be, um, it has something to do with the visibility or the way it is shared, right? It is used the most common, it is the most commonly used table from what I know.
Yeah, it is the most common used tables. I will explain it. All right, let's see and find out. We have got three kinds of table: transparent table, pool table, and cluster table. In the transparent table, what you are going to see is there will be a one-to-one relationship between the ABAP dictionary and the database. Obviously, we have three different layers that we have seen for now. We have presentation layer, which is also known as user interaction layer. Then we have application layer. We are currently working on the application layer. And then we have this HANA database layer where my database actually exists, where actual all the data is being stored. So in case of your transparent table, there will be a one-to-one relationship. If you are creating a single table, it will correspond to a single table with your database. The corresponding single table will be created inside the database. This is how your transparent tables actually works if you want to see it in detail. Now in case of pool table, what you are going to see, there will be n to one relationship, that is many to one relationship between the ABAP dictionary and the database. Also, one important thing is there, for pool table, primary foreign key relationship is not mandatory. Primary foreign key relationship is not mandatory. If somebody is going to ask you what is the difference between pool table and cluster table, the only answer you are going to give here is, for cluster table, primary foreign key relationship is mandatory, but pool, in case of pool table, it is not mandatory. And in your cluster table, the simple answer will be again, it is also end-to-end relationship between the ABAP dictionary and the database. One more important thing, guys, with HANA database coming into the picture, SAP simply obsoleted the concept of cluster table and pool table. We are now only working on transparent table. So we no longer need to understand this stuff, since SAP will be, ECC will be expired after 2027. But for knowledge purpose, for interview purpose, you might have this idea, you should have this idea, so that if anybody is asking, you will be able to explain it, right?
Mhm.
So if you will go and see the table, what you are going to see, always we will be creating only the transparent table. Okay,
Yes.
is this thing clear?
Mhm.
So this
The
is,
pool and the sorry, just
yeah,
one question. The pool and the cluster table. Do you have any examples of such tables?
It was there in case of ECC. Right now, with HANA coming into the picture, we no longer required to understand it. But there is a special tab name. If you want, you can go and search about this one, var key datlan var data. It is a table pool structure that is there, standard one. And this is also there for cluster table. I am not interested in learning this thing because it has been obsoleted years ago.
Okay.
Okay, for knowledge purpose, I wanted to tell you because there is a way of learning. We should also start understanding the concept. This was not very useful for SAP. That is why they decided to obsolete this thing. When we will go inside the HANA part, we will also see a lot of stuff that was simply removed with ABAP on HANA coming into the picture.
Okay.
Okay,
Mhm.
all right. What is a structure, guys? What is a
Structure.
structure?
A structure is just, if you imagine an Excel table, that would correspond to a table like this, but the structure is just a row, for example, a row.
Can so you are telling it is similar to this one, but what is the difference between a structure and a table?
Table consists of, or let's say a structure is just one line that is used in a table. So you can fill a table by filling out each line, each record, and each record corresponds to structure, right?
You are telling me that it is just a column inside a table so that we
No,
can add
no,
some fields.
not column, but the row, the record, right? You can add
Uh,
that's how I understood it. Or it's used like it's also known as work area.
mm-hmm. Okay. Let's find it out. What is a structure? So similar to table, guys, structure is also collection of columns or fields of different data type or similar data type. Obviously, your data type can be similar or different. It is totally depends upon the requirement your customer wants. But similar to table, it is the collection of fields and columns, fields or columns. And the single difference here is your structure is just a logical one. It is not a physical one. It will not contain any data. We will not be able to store any data. You are not going to see any technical setting inside the structure. Whenever you are going to create a structure, you will not be seeing any technical setting inside the structure. But your table always contains the actual data. Only entity that you can store data inside the database is your table. Structure is just a collection of fields and columns, or you can say it is a uh, integration of data type. Okay, collection of data type which we will be seeing in our ABAP programming, that we have different kinds of data type. Out of one is your structure, which is also known as what I will say complex data type. Okay, it is just a
Okay.
logical one which we can use inside the table. Suppose I want to add 10 more columns inside the table. So what I can simply do is that instead of passing all those columns inside the table directly, I can simply create a structure and I can reuse it inside the table.
Mhm. So
Are you
structure
guys
is
able to
like,
understand a little bit?
so
So
structure is a complex data type, right?
yeah, when we will discuss our ABAP programming, we will see we have three kinds of data type: elementary, complex, and reference data type. So this elementary data type are the data types that you are seeing here. Just go inside the domain. Sorry, this one domain. And here, whatever the data type that you are seeing that has been given by SAP, they are all the elementary data type. And we can create complex data type as a user according to our requirement. By combination of this one, we can pass multiple of data types inside it and we can create complex one. We will see it in the case of our second chapter, but for now, if you want to understand it, it is just a logical structure logical figure where no data will be stored, all the data will only be stored inside the table. So simple difference between your table and a structure is that a table actually contains the data, but your structure does not contains any data, and since it will not contain any data, therefore there is no necessity, there is no requirement of primary key inside it. Why we require a primary key inside the table? That is because we can simply identify a record uniquely. This is the simple definition of the primary key. But since we are not storing any data inside the structure, is there any requirement of primary key here?
No, since we don't store any data.
Definitely, guys. Since we do not store any data here, there is no requirement of primary key here. So you are going to see we have two kinds of structure. The first one is include structure and the second one is append structure. Two kinds of structure that are there in SAP, include structure and append structure. Again, the simple difference between them is this one will be your reusable structure and this is your not reusable structure. This is the property of a table. You are going to create a append structure only inside the table. And since it will be created only inside the table, that is why it is not reusable. But you can create your include structure from your SE11 transaction code. That makes it a reusable. You can use it in as many tables as you want. You can use it in any ABAP program if you want. Okay.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Another difference between them is we can insert our include structure at any point at any in a table at any point. That is, suppose this one is my employee table that we have created here, and suppose what I want is I want to add a structure. I want to add 10 columns just at this place. I want to add after the department or after the employee ID. Suppose I want to add 10 columns and after that the rest of the columns should appear. So we can simply create an include structure and we can pass all those columns inside it. We can add it at this place. All those columns will be added automatically here. But if you go for append structure, it can only be inserted at the last position of your table. You are going to use your append structure. This is the simple difference in it. Is this thing clear, guys?
Mhm.
Yes.
Let's see it how we can practically implement it. So for that purpose, let's say I want to add some more columns here. Let me check what kind of column we are going to add it. Yeah, suppose I want to add a column here, employee location inside my employee table. And for project table, I want to add a project location. So for both the purpose, I will first create include a structure. I will apply it inside the employee table. Then we will create a append structure and we will apply it inside our project table so that we can understand both the concept. Okay,
Mhm.
is this thing clear?
Yes.
Now, let's create a domain and data element for this employee location so that we can use it. Again, the purpose is same. We will always go for our domain and data element creation. These are the only steps that we will follow. I will pass this domain here, and let's say I will give a employee location emp underscore location. I will go for create button. At this time again employee location. In the data type, I will pass character and 40. Guys, mostly in your SAP, you are going to see that most of the standard fields will always have character data type. Most of the fields, because character is a thing in which you can store both the numeric part and also the alphabetical part. That is why it is more preferred in case of SAP. Okay, don't see it why we are using character mostly, because character is used mostly here. If you want, you can use the numeric character also, but character is used mostly. That is why I am preferring it. Okay, I hope this will not sound any confusion here. Is everything clear?
Yeah, yeah, everything's clear.
Yes.
Definitely. Okay, let's go for our data element creation and give here employee location, emp underscore location. I'll go for create data element, employee location here. Pass the domain in the field level. We will again give a heading, save, enter, activate, copy the data element, and let's see how we are going to create our structure. The first step is go to SE11. This is how we will create our include structure. Go to SE11, select the data type. How do we define the structure? I told you that it is a complex data type, right? We are going to create it for using this radio button. Please give a name for here. Let's say I'm giving the name here as include structure. I think it is already there. So let's say 8, 10. Okay. So this is
Mhm.
the name of structure that I want to create and I will click on create button. Do we have a radio button for my structure? Yes, it
Mhm.
is. Now I will select it and I will go for OK button. Now see it. Is it appearing similar to a table?
Similar,
I-
yeah.
Yeah, it is similar to it. I'm not saying that it is direct replica for it, but is it appearing similar to it?
Mhm.
Mhm.
So let's pass here employee location, or simply say I'm passing here as include structure. Now you can pass as many columns as you want. It totally depends upon you. I just wanted to show you how we are going to create it. So I have taken only single field here, employee location, and I will pass the data element in the component type. In the component, you will pass the field name, and in the component type, you will pass your data element. Is there any technical setting here? Guys, please see it. Is there any technical setting here? Is there any
No.
technical setting here? There is no technical setting. Why we were using our technical setting? We were using our technical setting to define the exact location in which my data is going to be stored, data class and size category. So that is why there is no use of it, because this is just a structure. This is just a logical representation of data. It is not going to store any actual data. It is just a data type, complex data type, which a user is defining according to his requirement, right? Now I will
Mhm.
simply activate it, assign the package and see there is no error. So simply copy the name of your include structure and we are going to use it in my table. Let me explain you how we are going to use it. Open your table in change mode. Open your table in change mode. And suppose I want to use it here just after the employee location. So select this row in which you want to add your include structure. The definition of include structure was we can add it at any place at we want inside a table. You can select any place here. I just want this one, so I simply selected this row and I will go for edit, include, see here, insert and pass the name of your structure and click on OK button. See the magic. What is the name of this field?
Include.
Dot include, not
Not
include,
include.
dot include. And in the data element, your structure is appearing, right?
Mhm.
Now simply activate it to check any error is there or not. There is no error. And if you will go back and open it in display mode, just go back and open it in display mode. See here, by default, whatever the columns inside your structure, it will appear all the column name and its data element will automatic appear in blue color here.
Mhm.
Mhm.
So now it is a part of my table. Can you anyone tell me what is the benefit of a structure? I could have simply used the field name and data element here. Why I created a structure for it?
Maybe for reusing it in the future.
That is the most important benefit. I can use this structure in any table, in any place, in a web programming. It is just a logical presentation. It is not taking any space inside my database. There is no data is actually being stored.
Mhm.
So let's go to SM30 and try to store some data inside it. Okay. We will simply go to SM30 and we will try to store some data inside it. So what I will do is I will go to SM30. Let's see if it is already there or not. Go to SM30 and we will use our employee table. ZEMP tab A10 maintain. It is after my employee name. But what I can see here is this column is not appearing here. Why my column is not appearing here? Why my column is not appearing here?
Is it on the way back? Is it appended on the back of this table on the right? I mean.
No. See here, there is nothing.
Sorry, I didn't see.
Let me again open this way. Is there anything here?
No, no. I just see
Can
the
anybody tell it?
horizontal bar can still go, but I don't know.
Let's see why it is not appearing here. Let me show the previous session that we have discussed again. Just go to the last section. Whenever you add new columns or fields to the table after the generation of TMG, the newly added fields will not appear automatically while maintaining the data with the help of SM30. We need to delete the TMG and generate it again.
Okay.
You
Yeah.
guys do not paid attention in the previous class. Please try to practice this thing. Otherwise, you will get confused. Okay?
Yes. Mhm.
So what I will do here is I will open my table in change mode. I will go to utilities, table maintenance generator. We will delete our TMG. Okay. And we will regenerate it again. Just wait for a couple of minutes. Sorry, couple of seconds. Again, we will go for one step, find screen number, propose screen, press OK and click on create button. Your TMG will be generated. Yeah, your TMG will be generated. Your TMG has been generated. Now what you can do here is, just wait. You can simply refresh it again by /n_sm30. Go for maintenance part and you are going to see this column will appear here. Okay.
Yes.
Now you
Mhm.
can add your location accordingly. So what we should give here location? Let me say it is Delhi, Noida, Gurugram, or let's say some other place like Bangalore, Chennai, or say Hyderabad. This is some place that I'm simply passing here. You can pass any place that you prefer. And my data is saved. Now if you will open here in display mode, you can see here my data is being stored inside this employee location and it is just a part of my structure, so I can simply use it inside the table. How do it is acting like this one, guys? It is acting as a field. Now it is acting as a data type, and using this data type, using this structure data type, I am able to use it inside a table, right?
Mhm.
So this is the property of your include structure. Now let's see our append structure and also one more important property which we are going to discuss. So inside this append structure, I want to use a field project location. I want to use a column project location. It will be character 3. So let's suppose the very beautiful concept of a domain, which is value range, we are going to discuss here. Let's suppose a scenario. Suppose there is a column whose value is fixed, like only 3 values can be stored inside that column, and the value is suppose Delhi, Bangalore, or Mumbai. Only 3 values. Okay. Because suppose I have a project for my company and that project can only be worked, or that project location can only be 3 out of these values. Okay. So what do you think, guys? What will be the length that we will pass for this column while defining its data element? Should be the length? Suppose I created a column with character 40, okay, with character 40. It will be able to store any of its value, right?
Yes.
But my question is, it will also be able to store other values, na? Like Chennai, suppose, for like Patna, any place, right? But my requirement was that I only want to store either of these 3 values. Either of these 3 values, only a value that will belong with the out of these 3 I can only store it. So here the concept of value range comes into the picture. You can limit the value of any column using domain. It is a very beautiful property of a domain. That is why we are required to pass domain. If you don't want to use domain, you can directly go for this predefined data type while creating your data element. You can pass the data type and length. But using domain, you can use this value range tab to provide the values that you want. You can limit the values of your column. Your guy, nobody will be able to add other values other than this one that are here. Okay,
Mhm.
let's see it, guys. It is a very beautiful concept. I will again go for domain and data element creation for my project location. Where is it? Project location. It is character 3. I have passed here a character 3 length. See how we are going to use it. I will use this domain radio button again. Give a name for your data element. Suppose project location. I will go for create button. I will pass a short description here. Project location. And in the data type, character 3. Press enter. Now we will go for value range, and you can pass here as many value as you want. Since we have given the length here as character 3 only, so in this section fixed value we will have to pass a value whose length is 3. So suppose for Delhi I am passing here DEL, and in the short description you can give a length of any size. Okay, you can write any character as any long. You can, if you want, you can write this one. This will be appear there. Okay.
Yes.
So for Delhi, DEL, and then we have Bangalore. So for 3 character, I will pass here BAN, and in the short description, I will pass Bangalore. Now for the next one, the next value, you can simply click on this icon. Another space will come here, which is Mumbai. So MUM. So you can pass any number of values which you want, and users will now able to select only these values. They cannot manually enter any data inside the column. Okay.
Mm.
Now let's click on save button, package, activate it, copy the domain, go for data element creation, select the data type, and here let's say I will pass project location, and for data element DE, create data element. Okay. In the short description, project location, and in the domain we will pass our domain, go to field level and give a heading for the column. Click on activate button. Your data element is ready now. Your data element is now ready. Now we can create our append structure and see how your append structure is going to be created. So let's say I want to create it inside my project details table. So I will simply select the table name, go for change button. And see here, in any table, if you want to create a append structure, you will open your table in change mode. And you can see here, we have a append structure tab, right? We have a button here.
Yes.
Are you able to see it?
Mm-hmm.
Now simply click on this structure, pass any name for your append structure. Let's say I'm passing it append structure 8 to 10. I will click on OK button and see, is it again looking like the same way your table appears? Is it, guys?
Is it, guys?
Mhm.
I'm not sure if there's
So this
something.
has the same structure as the include
Yeah,
structure.
both are structures, but here you are seeing it append structure, right? This
Yes.
is a simple difference. It is not reusable. You cannot reuse it in another table. It is a property of a single table. That is why we are creating it inside a table.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay, here let me just show it how it is going to work. First, we will pass our column here, project, location, location, location here. And inside the component type, I will enter the, sorry, where is the data element? Data element was Z project location underscore D underscore at underscore 10. Press enter. Yeah, it is okay. So this was the data element that we have created. Now please activate it. Package transport request. See here, there is no error. Now if you will go for the back button, see how it will appear. Click on this back button. How is it appearing? Is there anything you can enter after it? Everything has been changed into read mode, right? So
Mhm.
append will always act as the last of your column. Sorry, last of your table. Append structure can only be inserted at the last. If you will go here using dot append to store it, you will not be able to store it. Another disadvantage of your append structure, it is not a reusable structure. If you will go inside the employee table, let's say a scenario, if you will go inside this append table, if you will try to add it dot append, let's see what is the, and if you will copy this structure here and you will try to paste it, press enter. See, the append structure can only be created via the menu. You cannot use other append structure that you have used inside other table. Is this clear, guys?
Yes.
Oh, there is some
What is the benefit of using this?
append structure.
Yes.
Do you know the benefit of, wait a second. Your field employee table currency does not exist. Employee table salary. What is the, why it is appearing like this one? Oh, oh, wait a second. I've changed some fields here. Where is my salary currency? Z currency. Yeah, now it is okay. Yeah, no error. Activation. Yeah, please ask now.
So what is the benefit of using the append structure?
The benefit is simple. If you want to only add some columns, that will be there at the last. See, the benefit of using a structure is when you will be writing the select queries to fetch the data using the programs, structures relatively work faster than the columns of the table. Okay. Structures always works faster than the columns of the table. They relatively takes less position. That is why when you will go to standard tables, you are going to see most of the columns will be stored inside the structures. Okay. Only the important fields will be there as the simple columns, but rest of the columns will be working as a structure because of their reusable property also. And this append structure only works as the last. It is only there to store those columns that will be stored here at the last only. Uh, if you are asking for the benefit, this is there for reusable thing, that if you want to create it, if you want to add some columns at the last, you can simply create a append structure for it if you want. If you don't want, you can simply create columns for it totally depends upon the user choice.
Okay.
SAP is not forcing. Why there SAP is, we are using SAP to easy our work, right? So that we
Mhm.
can decrease our load. So they have given us some features and they are totally like this one. If you want to use this feature, you can go for it. If you want to use this feature, you can go for it. It totally depends upon you. Okay. Now if you'll open again it in display mode, you are going to see this one will be appear all the columns that is a part of your append structure. It will appear automatically. Okay. Now again, to maintain data inside this column, we will go and we will regenerate our TMG because it will not appear directly. So open it in change mode, utilities, table maintenance generator, and delete my TMG of your item table. And again, one step, find the screen number and create your TMG. Now let's see the benefit of the value range that we have used inside it. If you will go for SM30, see how it is going to work. Just go for SM30. Click on the maintenance button. And see here, we have this project location. Uh, yeah. Are you able to see this button here? Why
Yes.
is it appearing? It is not there for other columns, but why only for project location? And if you will click on this button, by default, you are going to get those values that you have passed inside the value range. And we cannot write any values by ourselves. If I will try to write any value, I will not be able to use it. I can only use one of these values that are there. So what I have done, I have simply limited the values of a column. Are you able to understand the importance of the concept of value range?
Mhm.
Yes.
Is there any doubt still, guys? So
No.
No.
I know it is going to take some time to digest all this stuff because it is new for you. You are learning it for the first time. So what my approach is, please try to ask as many questions as you can and try to grab these things. These are really important stuff. It will take some time to digest it, but please try to follow the way that I am suggesting. Otherwise, you will went into a never-ending loop. Okay,
Mhm.
because SAP is an ocean. And if you will directly go for everything, you will not be able to understand it. So please follow the guidance that I am telling. Any other question, please?
Just one more question. Is there a way to make a field required in a table?
Mandatory.
Okay. Sorry?
You can mark it as primary key. Primary keys are always mandatory.
Yeah.
Primary keys are mandatory now.
Mhm.
Let's say if I'm opening my employee table, see employee uh, tab 8 to 10, I will click on maintain button. I have 105 data here. If I'll go for new entry, let's say I'm not passing any data into this employee ID. I'm storing your name, Ellen or Mukul. Let's say Mukul. Some employee location here. Let's say Dubai. Department here is ABAP. And if I will click on save button, see what is going to work. Data is saved. Oh, still data is saved. How it is possible? I have not seen it yet. Wait a second. You want to make a field mandatory, right? Let me check how we can do it. Save. If we go inside this property, all right, I will explain this in the next class. Okay, I will find this stuff. I might be forgetting it. There is important thing that we need to mark it. It becomes mandatory. Okay.
Okay.
Any other question?
No.
Any other question?
No,
No,
no.
no. Okay,
No.
okay. So this is how we can create our all those data. Let's say all the I think structure part is done, and let's go for the new thing. So guys, till now we have seen a lot of stuff. You are able to create now header and item table. We have seen the structures. You can create our domains and data element. But do you guys know the concept of views?
Oh, no.
Please think on it.
Mhm.
What could it be? The view is just what's displayed, the report, right?
Guys, the required column that you asked, let's just remember it. See, we will discuss this concept in module pool programming. Okay. There is a
Okay.
separate thing when we create any field. Okay, let me just show it to you. You are going inside it. You are entering some data here, right? You are able to store some columns here. So we will go and we will be discussing the module pool programming. There we will be able to understand it, because how this SAP is designing this screen, we will be able to design all those stuff there. Okay. If you want to see
Mhm.
it, go to system and status. You will be able to see a screen number. Let me show it to you. Uh, where is it? Program. Where is the screen number? Where is the screen number? Transaction GUI status. There is a screen number for everything. Okay, there is not. So if you will go inside this GUI status, see here, all these buttons are there, right? Create. This was for change, for display button. For everything SAP has designed this. This is the back button, right? If you will double click on it, what you are going to see, every property here. So this whole thing we will be discussing inside the module pool programming. There I will explain you how to make a field mandatory. Okay.
Mhm.
Mhm.
So this is a part of some separate chapter. That is why I was a little bit confused. We can also do it in this table, but for now, please try to create these things. Otherwise, there will a lot of confusion start. Okay. Uh, are you able to understand what I'm telling?
Mhm.
Yes.
So another thing here is I want to know what is a view. What do you think? How we are going to apply it?
The view is the interface, right? I mean, the where the user can enter values into fields, into a mask, so on, and then he can run it, and then the logic will be performed.
What do you think the meaning of a view in real life? If I will treat it as a simple English word, what is the meaning of a view? A simple
Like,
English definition, like I am watching something, right?
yes,
I am watching something. What do we need to watch in a table? We want to see the data of it, right? So let's say I have a requirement that I want to see the content of both the employee table and project details table at the same time. Are you able to understand my question? I want
Mhm.
to see the content of both employee, that is both header and item table at the same time. Will I be able to see it using this table, using this SM30 or SE11 or SE16N?
Mhm.
Can I see the content of both the table at the same time? What if I want to see it? I will be able to see one table at a time, but I want to see the content of both the table. Is it possible from SM30 or SE11?
No.
No.
It is not possible. Here the concept of view comes into this picture. View is a very powerful tool, guys. When we will go for ABAP on HANA, there is a CDS view term. You might have heard it, CDS view.
Mhm.
So that is a very separate stuff. It is very different from this database views. We will discuss it later on. So a view is a virtual table. That means a view does not have any data. It is a virtual table. We are only going to see the contents of the tables. Again, the definition here. Table is the only place where your actual data will be stored. Rest of the other things will only be using the data of your table. So a view is a virtual table. It do not contains any data. It simply brings the data from the tables. It is again logical database as it does not have its any data of it. It always bring the data from the tables. Okay.
Mhm.
We can use the concept of view to see the data from our table. Also, there is a special kind of view we will see using which we can maintain the data of multiple table at the same time. Okay. Are you guys and trying to understand what I'm telling?
Mhm.
Yes.
Yes.
So we have four kinds of view: database view, projection view, maintenance view, and help view. Database view, projection view, maintenance view, and help view. The first kind of view is your database view. It is the collection of one or more database tables. It is the collection of one or more database table. That is, we can see the content of multiple tables at the same time. If you want to see the content of a single table, you can create it using database view, or if you want to see the content of multiple tables, you can see it using the database view also. But again, we have a prerequisite for it, that table must have the relationship between them. If you are using multiple tables, then they must be linked to each other via foreign key relationship.
Mhm.
Is this thing clear?
Yes.
Let's create our own database view and see the benefit of it. Go to SE11, guys. Go to SE11 again. We are simply discussing the concept of SE11. See here, we have a radio button called view, and we can create our own view from here. I will simply pass database, Z database, again 8 to 10 to make our view unique. And I will click on create button. See here, how many types of view are there?
For
Overview. We are now discussing the concept of database view. So I will use this database view. I will click on copy button and I will pass this short description here, database view. Simple short description. Now see here, we have two different section, tables and join condition. So in the table, any question?
No.
no.
Okay, so my voice was actually echoing. All right, in the table, I will pass my employee table, EMP tab 8 to 10, and click on relationship. You are going to see the dependent tables that are related to it. Okay, if there will be multiple tables, all will appear here, and you can select the tables that you want. From here on, you can simply select the tables that you want. Now click on copy button. By default, see the join condition here. Have I selected this join condition or is it appeared automatically?
Automatically.
Automatically. And what it is saying, employee ID of employee table is equal to employee ID of your project details table. This is the join condition, guys, that has been applied here. And if you will go to this view field section, click on this table fields and you can select all the fields that you want to see inside this database view. First go for employee table and select as many fields as you want. Suppose I want all the fields, so I will simply select it, all the fields here. You can select as many fields as you want. I want all the fields. Now I will go for table fields, I will go for project details table, and I will simply select those fields here that are remaining. MNDT have been selected, employee ID has already been selected, project ID, project name and project location are still remaining. So I will simply select them. I will click on copy button and see here. Multiple tables, columns of multiple tables are appearing here, guys, right?
Mm-hmm.
Click on activate button, package, transport request, check for the warning, there is no error. And you can see here we have a contents button. We have a contents button. If you will click on this content button, go inside it and see the data of both the tables at
Mm-hmm.
the
That is
same
very good.
time,
That's very
right?
nice. Yeah.
So this is a very beautiful property of your database view. If you want to see the content of multiple tables, you can create your own database view. You will be able to see that you will be able to see the content of both the tables at the same time. Now
That's good.
let's say,
I
yeah,
didn't know about this. But just one question: is it possible, for example, to make a view with two databases, but who do not share a primary key, who are not linked? I mean, sorry,
what is the definition of a database view?
they must have a relationship between them.
That is a
Okay.
prerequisite now.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
How do you think SAP is going to show data of multiple tables if they are not linked to each other? In my header
Exactly. Yeah.
and in my item, I have, see, for one data, I have multiple items in my item table, right? SAP was able to link with both the columns that was there. But if we have suppose 10 data in header and 20 data in other table, how will it be able possible for it to show the data? It requires some consistency or some linkness in it now so that it can show
Yes.
you how they are linked to each other.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes, I understand. Thank you.
Any other question?
No.
Okay, guys. So this is database view. You can create or your own database view. Now the next thing is projection view. Again, you would have heard the concept of projectile in your college days or in your school days. Projectile. Do you remember it in the mechanics? Projectile. What was the meaning
Projectile.
of
Yeah.
projectile? When I throw a ball, suppose I'm throwing a ball in the east direction, some part of it will be above it and some part of it will be in the same direction, right? That is
Mm-hmm.
called the projection of it. That is why it will appears in the form of a curve while throwing when we throw it, and then it falls on the ground. Some part of it is there in the above direction, some part of it is in the right direction, and after some time it falls here. This is called the concept of projection. Some part of it is above, some part of it is in the right direction while the gravity is directly applying on the ball, so slowly it appears in the curve direction. Okay, curve direction.
Mm-hmm.
So this is your projection. Projection simply means suppose I want to see some part of my table, some part of my employee table or project table or any table that you want. That is, suppose here I have VBAK table. Okay, let's go for VBAP, not VBAK, in VBAP, and see how many columns inside it. Uh, Oh, sorry. See this radio button displayed. How many columns are there inside VBAP? How many columns are there? Please read this number.
393.
393 columns are there in my VBAP table. Do you really think I am going to use all these columns?
No.
I will never ever use all these columns in my entire life. All these columns will never be used in a single project. Only few columns are required according to the requirement of the customer. So for that purpose, if I am using suppose some custom tables, why should I go for all the data? This concept of projection view comes into the picture. You can select those fields of your single table. This projection view is only applied for a single table. If you want to create it, go for SE11, select this view, projection, here projection, click on create button, select this projection view, copy, okay, pass here short description, projection view, and you can see here we only have a basis table option. I can pass my table that I want. It is only applied for a single table, only applied for a single table. 8 to 10 in the table fields. I can select those fields. Suppose I only want employee name and location. I don't want all the rest columns. So I can simply select it here and I can activate it. Now if you will click on the contents tab, go for execute button. See, I am able to see only these three data, only these three columns. Okay.
Mhm.
So it totally depends. See, a lot of features are there provided by SAP which we can use, but it is not like mandatory to use all the things. It totally depends upon you. They are providing us services. They have given us. My voice is echoing. So a lot of features are there. You can use it according to your requirement. Okay. Any question?
Just one question. Is it also possible for the user to be able to access this view using another transaction?
Another transaction?
Like there's SM30 for maintaining the table.
SM30 is for the maintenance. Okay. If you have created it, no, for projection view, one thing you can do is you can create a separate transaction code for it. We will see it later on. Okay. Just wait for the
Okay.
time. Any other thing?
No.
No.
For SM30, let's see it. What is here? Table and view. Is it here? Can I access it? Why I am not able to access it? What do you think?
You can access. You can activate the PMG for this.
Yeah, but TMZ part is not there for here. Is it here? It is not there for your projection view. TMZ
You
part
have
we
to
go for
activate it.
maintenance view. Okay, for maintenance view, which is our third kind of view. See, a lot of thing is there. Only we should go for those property that are applied for this one. For projection view, we only go when we want to see some content of a table. Okay. Rest
Mhm.
of the thing we should never use it. And I see in my last 6 to 8 years of my implementation, I have never used it. So you are not going to get it, but I just wanted to explain that this is a kind of view which is there. You can use it to see the contents of it. Okay.
Mhm.
Mostly, see, ACP is a version. Mostly 80 to 90% stuff are not applied, but it is there. As a developer, we should have knowledge for it. If you will go for the research purpose, you will see a lot of features are also coming here, and everything cannot be explained in a training session. You already know it now. Any other question?
No, that's it.
Okay. See, another kind of view we have. What is this view? Maintenance view. And what is the purpose of it?
to maintain multiple tables?
To maintain multiple tables, we can maintain data in multiple table at once using the concept of maintenance view. Again, we have a prerequisite. Since we are using multiple tables here, the tables must have a relationship between them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and you can use the concept of this maintenance view to maintain data in multiple tables. Now see how much it becomes easier for us. We can use a single view to maintain data between multiple tables. Are you able to understand the importance of it?
Mhm.
Also,
Mm-hmm.
since we are going for maintenance part, we will use the MANDT field. It is a note. You please try to use it for maintenance view. It is a step suggested by SAP, so please try to use it. Okay.
Mhm.
Now, let's go for the view part and create our maintenance view and see what are the challenges that we will face while during its creation. Maintenance. Oh, sorry. Uh, Maintenance. I will click on create maintenance view. Pass a short description here. Maintenance view. Now inside this table, we will pass our employee table 8 to 10 and click on the relationship and see the magic. What is this? It is saying me. What it is saying me. Please read here.
Relationships with unsuitable cardinality.
Why do you think this is giving this message to me? We have a separate node for maintenance view and help view. Not more than one record should exist in the dependent or secondary table.
Mm-hmm.
Not more than one record should exist in the dependent on or secondary table, because you are going to see we will have a single record in the header table and we will have suppose multiple records in the item table. How will it be possible for us to maintain both the tables at the same time? This becomes a challenge in case of your maintenance view. So to overcome it, SAP came with this new thing that for your maintenance view, you can only have one record, at most one record in your item table. That is only one-to-one relationship can be used for your header and item if you want to use the concept of maintenance view. This is a practical limitation of it. Please not use the tables that have one-to-one relationship inside this maintenance view. Otherwise, you will always get this relationship with unsuitable cardinality message. Is this thing clear, guys?
Mhm.
I
Uh,
just didn't understand. So both tables, they have to have what? The same cardinality, right? Or
you can use other cardinality also, but for demo purpose, I prefer one-to-one. It is saying me not more than one record should exist in
ah,
the dependent or secondary table.
mhm, mhm.
Okay, not more than one record should exist. But what we are seeing in our header and item, in my item, I have some four records or some place three records here for a single record in header, right? That is
Okay.
why
Mhm.
the challenge is appearing here that unsuitable cardinality is there.
So if we delete three records from the second table so that only one record remains, then it should work, right?
Yeah, it should work, but again, the
Okay.
cardinality is different now.
Hmm.
It
Hmm.
can cause it trouble.
Yes.
And always deleting is never a good approach in your SCP. Please don't go
Yeah.
for directly for deleting. Do you know why I'm telling deleting is not a good approach? Suppose, let me just explain a reason for it. Suppose I have this table that we have created, employee table, okay? And because of some issue, some challenge came into this table, and I'm like new to it. So what I simply did, I went for the deletion part. Here we have a delete button. I simply deleted it. Now see the challenge of it. If I will click on this button, where use list, and you can see we have a lot of stuff are there. So if I will go for OK, where used, you see here, it is being used inside this program, right? If I will
Mhm.
go for other stuff, you can see where it is being used. Database, table, structures, let's say table types, view, entity, everything. Let's select it and check where it is being used. Include fields. Now see here, it is being used inside this table, it is being used inside this view, it is being used inside this program. So we just have two lectures and we are using this table into the multiple places. Now suppose this table was created 3 or 4 years ago. Let's take a hypothetical situation that table was created 3 or 4 years ago, and we have been used this inside program, inside the classes, inside other stuff also. So will it be a good way to delete it? All those things will become inconsistent, right? Because we are using this thing there.
Yes.
So deleting a thing is never a good approach. Please never ever delete any. If you want to check the importance of that thing, you can please try to go for it. Please try to copy it. Copy it here from this is button is there, your table name, and you can pass any other table name to copy the content of all the it, and then you can use this copy to practice your stuff. Okay, but please never ever delete it.
Mhm.
Now to check the importance of this maintenance view, I will simply create two table with just one fields so that I can show you how it is working. Let's say I am simply using EMP01 here to create it. It is already there. Again, EMP01 8 to 10. Create simple table. I am going to create two tables with a single field only. Employee table, A allowed. In the fields, I will pass the MNDT field, and only one field which is employee ID. Simple. Just I want to show you how it works. So EMP ID data element. Let's copy its data element from our notepad and pass it here. Wait for a second. Why is it appearing here? Paste it and delete this one. All right, mark it as a primary key. Activate your table. So pass the data class, size category, save, back, activate your table. Your table is activated. Create the TMG as usual and %NC. We will pass the function group, one step, and in the find screen number, we will simply go for propose screen and click on create button to create your TMG. So your header table is now ready. We will now create our item table. So I will simply go here, SE11. This time, suppose EMP02 to create a item table, create employee table, employee table. No, let's mark it as project table only. You can create any kind of table. I just want to show you how we can use this maintenance view. So I'm simply creating it a simple table here. I will select the field here as MNDT, MNDT, MNDT. Let's say again I'm passing employee ID here, the data element. Let's also pass project ID here, project ID. Inside it, we will pass the project ID data element also. Now let's mark it as uh, again, activate it, again data class, appl0, size category 0, save, back, activate it. Now link this table, both the tables. So we will go for foreign keys. I will pass the check here, employee table name, where is it? Copy it. This one. Pass it here as check table, generate proposal. I will go this time cardinality as 1 to 1. Simple. Copy, activate. Yeah. Again, go back. Utilities, table maintenance generator, and percentancy, your table name. Simple rules, guys. We follow the simple step. Your thing will be ready. Don't go for everything in the starting. You will get confused. Okay. You are now okay with creating tables now.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So my table both are ready. Now if I will go for maintenance view here and I will pass my employee first header table. Let's see how it is working now. Suppose I'm passing my table name. I will click on relationship button. Yes. Am I getting this message relationship with unsuitable cardinality now?
No.
No, because the simple necessary rule here is not more than one record should exist in your secondary table. Now this thing has been removed. We will click on checkbox. Okay. You can go to view fields. By default, your fields will appear here. If some field is remaining, you can go for table fields and you can select those fields. Okay. By default, it is coming here. But if some field is remaining, you can simply go and select it and you can activate it. So since we are going to maintain data using this maintenance view, that is why TMG becomes mandatory. We will create TMG for our maintenance view also. We will create our TMG for our maintenance view also. Same approach, guys, that we follow in our tables. Same thing will happen. Create your TMG for maintenance view. And once your maintenance view, sorry, TMG of your maintenance view is ready, now you can directly go to SM30 and play with this maintenance view, play with the tables of the it. This is the table name that, sorry, this is the name of the maintenance view that we have created. Go for maintain button and you can pass here entries. Let's say I'm passing 10100, 101 200, 101, not 101, 102, 103 here, 300 and press enter. And go, guys, and see the data inside your table. Let's go inside our employee table header one. Go for contents, execute it. Oh, sorry. Why it is not appearing? Okay, let's go to SM30 to see its content. Employee, display the data in it. Oh, it is not appearing here. Why it is not appearing here?
Was it saved?
Oh, sorry, it is saved. Let's refresh it. Yeah. Is it appearing in my employee table? You can go inside the project, the table second one that we have created. What was the name of it? Yeah, this one. Copy its name and paste it here. Display and see it. So using a single maintenance view, you are able to play with the data of multiple tables here, right? If you will
Mhm.
delete a single data, if you will delete it, click on save button, go and please try to refresh your data. See here, wait a second. Again, let's save it. Maintenance view. Refresh your content. Open it again. Oh, wait a minute. My project table, it is there. What is uh, what is happening here? This is your project table. Go for it. Why the data is still appearing here? Hmm. Let's go inside our maintenance view, contents. Only two data is there. Go to our SE11. Maximum GUI has been raised. So go to SE11. This is the second table that we have created. Open it, contents, execute. Data is still there. How is it possible? No, data is still there. I've deleted the data from my maintenance view. Why data is still there? This usually not happens. Yeah, only two thing is there. Why data is there in this employee table, the third one? Okay,
I will be adding here a fourth entry 104 and see what happens.
okay, let's add it again. 104, 300. Let's save it. Another one is appearing. Okay, and if I'll delete it, it is still there. Why is it possible? It is not being deleted. This thing not happens usually. It is happening like this one. Oh, delete option has been removed from here. Okay. Currently editing. It is editing from where? Okay. See it. Utilities. How is it possible? Delete part has been removed. See, maintenance part we are able to do it, but deleting data is not deleting the records from it. I have not seen this stuff till now. It usually gets deleted. Why it is not working? SM30. If I'll open first one, EMP 01 8 to 10 for display part. Yeah, it has been deleted from the employee one, but it is still there in the project one, right?
Mhm.
Why it is there? It is something new. Employee tab, sorry, maintenance. Hmm, where is the maintenance view? Slash n11. Yeah, view. Again, go for it. Change contents. What is the reason of it? I have created the maintenance view. Let's go for our second table, employee 02. We have two primary keys here. Let's mark only one here as primary key. Go for search field. 1 to 1 is okay. Activate it. Refer to log. Convert table at field level. All right. We will go to SE14. Anybody knows what is the use of SE14?
Mhm.
What is the use of it? Anybody know it till now?
No.
No.
Okay, I will explain it in the next session. See, if we are performing any changes directly on the database layer, if the table has been already created, there is a possibility that you might get error. So what you can do is you can go to AC14 and you can go for adjust and activate database. It then simply activates your database and your error is removed. Okay. So now again, let's go to AC11, open our employee table in change mode. Let's see, activate it. It is working or not. Yeah, activated. This time we will go for again utilities. We will go to table maintenance generator, delete it, regenerate it. Again, one step, find screen number, enter, create. Yeah, now go to SM30. First, let's remove all the data that is there. Remove all the stuff, delete it, delete it. Yeah, enter, yes. Again, go to SM30, delete the data of header. Yeah, maintain, delete it. Then now we will start with the maintenance part. Let's see how it is working now. I will simply go for maintenance view. Yeah, I will simply now go for maintenance view. Since there is no data, so we will create it from SM30. Let's pass here Z. What was the name of the view? SC11 view. This is my maintenance view. Copy it, paste it here. Now we will go for maintain. They already deleted. What? Oh, sorry. Has is not there. Maintain. Now new entries. This time we will go for 101, 100, 102, 200. Now 103, 300. Save it. Now again I will go to SM30 to check the content, how it is working now. Let's say I will go for employees table first. 3 data are coming. I will go for employee table second. This time employee table second. 3 data are coming here. Now let's delete the data. Let's delete it. Again open it in maintenance button. Maintain it. Let's delete it. Suppose I'm deleting a single record here. I will click on save button. Go to our table section. Again open it in display mode and boom. Data is deleted, right? Data is deleted here. Is it?
Mhm.
If you will open the first header table, again back it, open it in display mode and see only two. Oh, wait a second. Second one and see only. Why is it working? The system is something different. Now one data is not deleting from your employee one. It should be deleted. Project details data is now being deleted, but employee data is still there. Maybe it is taking some time to take changes. Okay. Maybe it is taking some time to reflect your changes, but it simply means that whenever you are doing it, it is going to simply delete your record. Okay. Are you able to understand what I want to explain here? There is so much of silence.
It was a bit quick right now. I will have to rewatch
Uh,
the lecture
See,
later and
there is some stuff with
practice.
the server because these are demo server for practice purpose. Okay. Sometime it happens, but it not usually happens. Over the last 10 batches, I have not seen this issue inside this training. but I don't know why it is happening. But the concept of this maintenance view is simple here. Don't need to worry about that. Simple concept here is that we can use multiple table at once. Okay. Everything I have written it, you are just required to follow this stuff. Create two dependent tables and you can maintain the data accordingly. It works there. See, the problem here is actually they are currently creating the HANA server which was destroyed, the motherboard was destroyed. So currently I'm showing your stuff on the ECC server. So there might be some issue with it. Okay. Once it is done, I will show it to you on the HANA server also. Any Don't try to confuse it, guys. I know it is a little bit messed up in this session, but the simple stuff is whenever you are going to play with your maintenance view, if you will click on create button, the thing will be created in both your tables. When you will click for delete button, it will be deleted. If you will go for update thing, it will be updated. This is the main purpose of this maintenance view. That is why maintenance name is there. It is only there to maintain data over one or multiple table at once.
Mhm.
In the programming part, you are going to see a lot of stuff with this maintenance view in your project days. Okay. You guys are still confused?
No,
No. Think so.
it was just a lot to take in, but I'll have
Uh,
to reread
okay.
the slides and everything.
A lot of stuff has been done now. So I
Mm.
think we should wrap up our today's session.
Mhm.
Will you be able to revise this much concept in the till the next session?
Yeah, we just need access to the server and then it should
Yep.
be possible.
See guys, if you have any kind of doubt, I will personally suggest to ask it because after the end of the training, there will be no one to help you. You all be able on yourself only. Okay.
Mhm.
So please try to learn as much as possible. And see, we are technical graduates, right? We are technical developers here. So sometimes certain challenges can come with the server, which we cannot directly predict it that it is will come, but we know that how it is going to work already. We have worked on it on 1,000 times, so that is why I'm telling this thing happens here. But there might be possibility some region inside the server. That is why first when I was creating it, it was not appearing in the project tables. Now it is reflecting over the project table, but it is not reflecting over the employee table. So there might be some issue. We will fix it once the HANA server is ready. I will try to show it there on. Okay.
Mhm.
Yes.
So please do not try to confuse it with this. So with this, I think we should wrap up our today's session. From the next one, we will see our rest of this stuff. Okay.